Hello, everybody. So this is, I'm not going to play this thing. This is the TV commercial video. And by the way, there's George Reeve starring in Superman. And there's the publisher of the Daily Planet arguing with him, and they're doing a TV commercial that ran on their show. And there's Jimmy Olsen. Oh my goodness, there he is. I used to watch this TV show, and looks like it's for Kellogg's, just like we said. Okay. This is showing, I'm just going to show little snippets of this because it's good. That's the Honeymooners. Gosh, what a show that was. Yeah, you don't have to. I guess it's going to give me a hard time here, so let's just move on. Jackie Gleason on the right, playing Ralph Cramden, and the character of Ed Norton on the left. Art Carney, the actor playing Ed Norton. Wonderful TV show of a guy in New York, Ralph Cramden, who's a bus driver, who is, however, although he never hurts his wife or touches her, he nevertheless threatens it. And so I guess the PC side, maybe not so good, but still a very funny show, mostly about these two couples, working class, shall we say, blue-collar couples. Ed Norton works in the sewers, New York, and Jackie Gleason's a bus driver. Looks like he's wearing his bus driver uniform. And come on, let's move on here, folks. Let me move on. Oh, it's just being goofy here. Doggone it. All right, well, maybe it's starting to play, and then I can jump ahead. I'm just going to wait for just a second. Oh, Lone Ranger. Every Saturday morning. Oh, my God. Whoa. Guess that's Elvis, everybody. The Ed Sullivan Show. Okay. All right. Whoa, 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 whoa. We got to see Star Trek. Whoa. Gosh, we're jumping everywhere. There's, whoa, come on. Oh, sorry, everybody. I'm going a little nuts here. Here's the original cast of Star Trek on TV from the 60s, really the mid to late 60s. I think the series only ran for a couple of years. William Shatner, there in the middle, who's still around, amazingly enough. He must be close to 90. He's had, I don't know how many facelifts. He always wore a toupee. He's wearing one here. And the guy with, as I am, with less than crowning head of hair is always conscious of other people trying to get away with things. Dr. Spock on the right. Oh, Dr. Spock. Mr. Spock. Dr. Spock. Mr. Spock on the right. Leonard Nimoy. Anyway, I'm not going to keep up with these darn things here. Oh, what is this one? This one's from the 70s. This is Happy Days. Now, by the way, everyone, this is a show conceived and produced and directed by a big Hollywood player, particularly in TV, named Gary Marshall, who grew up in Milwaukee. And so this show actually is about a bunch of teenagers, high school kids in Milwaukee in the 50s. Of course, the Fonz, Arthur Fonzarelli, the cool greaser guy, is on the right there, played by Henry Winkler, who was an unknown actor who just, I guess, zonked the audition and got the part. And then there, the smiley guy with the W, who played the kind of main hero character, Richie Cunningham, is Ron Howard. And Ron Howard has had quite a career in show business. He played the little boy Opie on the Andy Griffith Show from the 60s, which you've seen. And this now was a big hit show he was in. And then after this, he was kind of wondering what to do, and he became a director. And a very successful director. He directed a movie called Splash, which is Tom Hanks' first starring role, about a man in love with a mermaid, played by Daryl Hannah. Mermaid name was Madison, and hence the name Madison in the 70s and beyond. Anyway, most recently he directed a documentary about Pavarotti, the Italian opera singer, which is quite good. I recommend it. Oh, this one, 1980s famous TV show you guys may know a little bit about. Well, this one you should know. This is Friends, right, everybody, from the 90s, which is still running and still popular. So if you look at these videos, you'll see 10 or so really good TV series from each decade. 2000s, what is this one, Lost, I think, or something? I wasn't really into network TV too much at this point. I was mostly watching things on cable, HBO, Larry Sanders Show, things like that. Here's another one. You know what? I don't even know who these people are. I hope you do. But it's the last one. Now, we're going to take another little break here, and you're going to see, going back to, we've looked at the basic content now, mostly entertainment through the decades, and now we're going to, kind of finishing up in the content area. We did look at a whole bunch of TV ads, you'll recall, and now I just want to kind of round that out. Let's look at a very early infomercial, I think from the 70s. This goes for 8 or 9 minutes. It's a good one. Please look at it. This is before there was an internet, so to order you had to call. And this gentleman, the gentleman with the tie that you're looking at there, is named Ron Popeil, P-O-P-E-I-L, who was definitely the most successful infomercial gadget guy in history. He had Popeil's Pocket Fisherman, which was this little, fishing rod that folded up in a plastic thing with a line and everything all in it. You just clicked the thing up and you could just cast for fish any old time you wanted. And all kinds of these inventions, mostly made out of plastic, very cheap to mold and produce for just, dollars, pennies and dollars. And this one, and he really was super at infomercials. And what I want you to think about with the infomercial on TV is, how could you do something like this in any other medium? Right? And also, if you turn the sound off, you get the message, and I think you do. And let's take a look at that. And then after that, I'm going to let you guys see the opposite, which is a 15-second TV ad. Because what's really going on in the world these days is, let's just look at this silently, is long-form commercials, infomercials. Yes, they still are running. But more and more of but it's on the fringes. More and more of television and video overall is going into shorter formats, even 7 or so seconds on our phones, etc. So let's just play this 15-second commercial. This way you won't have to maybe look at the video. And let's see if it works with the sound off, which is how we're both going to look at it. All of us are going to look at it here. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let's look at it again. So do you get I know it's soy sauce, but do you get a Tabasco from this? Okay. We'll pick up on the other side of the infomercial and move on to the next thing we're talking about. By the way, you know what? I'm just going to do this for everyone's benefit if it'll let me. Let me escape from everything. Escape from everything. Go to the PowerPoint. Go all the way to our agenda. Where are you, agenda? TV agenda, which is here. Where are we? What have we done so far? We had a pretty complete overview, kind of setting up a lot of the issues and currents and trends hitting TV right now. What is TV? It's sending video and audio to devices. It's actually also a piece of hardware that tends to be kind of big and sit in your living room for a lot of people to watch. We talked about the technology of TV, how it's sent over the airwaves, and how this interesting person, was his last name Farnsworth? I think it was, invented it in 1928. We also talked about the fact that most of us these days don't get it that way. Our TV, we get it by a cable, so in a way it's sort of moving backwards, I guess, in some ways. But to get the quality of programming and to get the wide variety of programming, this is the way the world moved. And also to get the lack of control of the government over what we look at. So, okay, so we talked about coaxial cables and technology. We talked about the history of radio kind of as a business, of TV as a business arising from radio. And we looked at TV content. I hope you did look at it. You know, the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 10s. We looked at some ads. And the next thing we're going to talk about is buying TV. I almost kind of feel as if we should stop and make this, and I think we will. We're going to make this part 1 of TV. And I'm going to put all this up. I'm going to put a quiz at the end of it because we've gone through a lot of content. And very quickly put up the second part, which is you can see below here, buying TV, creative, talking about the industry, kind of summarizing things, advantages and disadvantages. Okay.